What happens when a well-known television host tries to have a calm, informative conversation with a guest, only to see everything spiral out of control in seconds? That night on live television, Jasmine Crockett walked onto Bill Maher's show with confidence, waving to the audience and smiling politely, ready to discuss her work and perspectives. The cameras rolled, the lights shone brightly, and everything seemed perfectly normal. Bill welcomed her warmly, asking a simple, soft question about her motivations for public service. A question designed to let a guest shine while remaining non-confrontational. But within moments, Jasmine's expression shifted, her eyes narrowing, and her voice sharpened as she challenged the host directly. She accused him of being performative, pretending to care about real issues while using his platform to appear inclusive and thoughtful, but never truly listening. The studio audience stiffened, some shifting uneasily in their seats as the tension built palpably. Bill, maintaining his professional composure, attempted to clarify, insisting he treated all guests with respect. Jasmine wasn't having it. She leaned in, her voice dripping with sarcasm, mocking the show's setup and Bill's intentions, suggesting he brought her on merely to tick a diversity box and to entertain his audience at her expense. The room's energy changed instantly, a mix of shock, discomfort, and anticipation filling the air. As the exchange escalated, Bill tried to regain control, calmly urging her to start over and discuss the issues she cared about. But Jasmine stood up, her intensity increasing, refusing to follow the usual decorum. The audience watched, riveted, as what should have been a normal interview began to descend into a chaotic, unprecedented confrontation with every word, gesture, and expression magnified under the bright studio lights, leaving the host visibly unsettled and the viewers at home captivated by the unfolding drama. Jasmine continued her verbal onslaught, moving closer to Bill's desk, her words sharp and unrelenting. She accused him of pretending to care about real problems while controlling the narrative from his privileged position, highlighting the power imbalance between a famous host and a guest with a genuine message. Bill, visibly tense but still composed, attempted repeatedly to redirect the conversation, urging her to discuss topics civilly and respectfully, reminding her that disagreements could happen without chaos. The audience could feel the tension spike. Some were whispering, others held their breath, unsure what would happen next. Security subtly moved closer, remaining just out of frame, ready to intervene if necessary, signaling how seriously the situation was escalating. Jasmine's voice rose, her frustration evident, claiming the show was a facade designed to make guests look foolish while inflating the host's ego. She called out Bill directly, saying he was nothing more than a washed-up comedian hiding behind his platform, attacking those who dared to speak honestly. Bill maintained his composure as best he could, explaining that he tried to treat all guests equally, but Jasmine refused to relent. The conflict intensified as she accused him of silencing dissenting voices, turning the room into a stage of confrontation rather than discussion. The tension was palpable, cameras capturing every flinch, pause, and glare, the live audience frozen between disbelief and fascination, knowing they were witnessing a rare and extraordinary breakdown on television, one that would immediately become a topic of conversation far beyond the studio walls. Jasmine's intensity escalated as she pointed directly at Bill, accusing him of using the show as a platform to humiliate guests rather than foster meaningful dialogue. She paced slightly, gesturing wildly, emphasizing how the lights, cameras, and carefully arranged set all served to amplify the host's control while suppressing honest voices. Bill attempted one more time to calm the situation, urging her to remain seated and discuss issues in a constructive manner. But Jasmine was unrelenting, insisting that the audience deserved to see the truth behind the polished facade. The studio atmosphere became electric. You could feel the tension pressing down on everyone present. Audience members shifted uncomfortably in their seats, some reaching for their phones to record the moment, realizing that they were witnessing a confrontation unprecedented in scale and emotion for a talk show. Security edged closer, their presence a silent warning. Yet Jasmine showed no fear, her eyes blazing with conviction as she continued her verbal attack, calling out perceived hypocrisies and pointing out instances where she believed the host had misrepresented or belittled his guests. Bill's attempts to interject were met with sharp retorts, his carefully prepared questions rendered irrelevant, as the conversation transformed into a battle of authority versus truth. Every word Jasmine spoke seemed to hit a nerve, exposing cracks in the host's controlled demeanor, while the audience watched, riveted as the tension spiraled further out of control, capturing a moment that would soon go viral as an example of a guest refusing to be silenced on live television. The confrontation reached a fever pitch as Jasmine moved closer to Bill's desk, her voice cutting through the studio like a whip. She accused him of pretending to care about serious issues, while secretly enjoying the power to humiliate those who dared speak honestly. Bill, maintaining as much composure as he could, attempted to reason with her, emphasizing that the show's purpose was dialogue, not personal attacks. But Jasmine was relentless, her words sharp and unyielding, exposing the tension between the curated image of civility on television and the raw reality of confrontation. Security personnel, previously in the background, now inched closer, prepared to step in if necessary. Yet Jasmine refused to back down, challenging their authority with every step. The audience sat frozen, caught between shock and awe as the exchange escalated. Some whispered to one another. Others held their phones high, documenting the unfiltered breakdown of decorum. Every rebuttal from Bill seemed to fuel her resolve, turning the studio into a battlefield of truth versus control. And every word from Jasmine revealed not anger alone, but an unflinching determination to hold the host accountable in real time, leaving an indelible mark on everyone witnessing the chaos unfold live.